The Portland twilight glowed amber as Lucas Reed pulled his Jeep into the driveway of his Craftsman bungalow in Laurelhurst. At 42, a cybersecurity analyst with a mind like a steel trap, Lucas carried a quiet intensity, his hazel eyes scanning the familiar porch. He just sealed a deal with a Denver tech firm, a career high, but his wife, Claire, 39, a community college advisor, felt distant. 6 years married, their once warm evenings had turned to curt texts. He wasn't due back from Boise, his early return attest. Inside, the house hummed with silence, Claire's Prius gone. Staff meeting. Her text read, but Lucas' gut twisted. At their last dinner, she'd avoided his questions, her smile tight. He tossed his keys, spotting her scarf on the armchair. Lifting it, he caught a sharp whiff of cologne, not his cedar scent, but something bold, musky. His boss, Nathan Cole, 44, had lingered too long at their July 4th barbecue, laughing with Claire over wine. Lucas' jaw clenched. He wasn't rash, but he wasn't naive. In the laundry room, his breath caught. Claire's blouse, crumpled in the basket, held a faint, crusty stain near the hem, nothing innocent, nothing vague. His chest burned, the sting of betrayal sharp. He'd brushed off her late nights, blaming her job, but this was a gut punch. Lucas didn't shout, he calculated. Pouring a whiskey, he sat at his oak desk, opening his laptop to a tracking app he'd slipped onto Claire's phone. A red dot blinked at Nathan's condo in the Pearl District, not her campus. He checked her messages. Running late, work stuff. She typed at 6 p.m. A lie, stark and careless. Lucas' fingers twitched, itching to call, but he held back. A confrontation would scatter his leverage. Instead, he dialed Ava Torres, a divorce lawyer a colleague swore by. I need answers, he told her, voice low. My wife's hiding something. Ava was direct. Oregon's no fault, but proof of infidelity can tip assets. Get texts, photos, anything solid. Lucas hired her PI, Ethan Blake, on the spot. By 11 p.m., his plan took shape. He'd use his upcoming Denver trip to dig, not fight. Hacking Claire's cloud, he found photos, her and Nathan at a cafe, too close, her hand on his arm. An unsent email draft read, Need to see you soon. Each click fueled his anger, but Lucas channeled it into precision. Ethan suggested a recorder in Claire's bag and a landline tap. Lucas grimaced. Spying felt low, but truth outweighed guilt. Claire slipped in at midnight, her eyes darting. Long day, she murmured, pecking his cheek. Lucas nodded, masking his rage. Missed you, he said, catching her quick glance away. Using a burner phone, he texted Nathan as Claire. Tomorrow, your place? Nathan's reply, always ready, hit like a slap. Lucas packed for his trip, his mind a chessboard. He wasn't just hurt, he was a strategist. Claire and Nathan thought they'd played him, but Lucas would spin a web to trap their lies, exposing them without a single blow. The Portland dawn hung heavy, a gray curtain of mist cloaking Forest Park's winding trails. Lucas Reed, 42, eased his Jeep Cherokee onto a rutted service road, the city's hum fading behind dense pines. A cybersecurity analyst with a mind sharper than the code he broke, Lucas was no stranger to high-stakes puzzles, but this one was personal. His wife, Claire, 39, believed he was jetting to Denver for a tech summit, her text wishing him safe travels still glowing on his phone. Instead, he was here, orchestrating a disappearance to expose her affair with his boss, Nathan Cole, 44. The betrayal had festered since last night, Claire's blouse, stained and damning, found in their laundry room. Now Lucas wasn't just hurt, he was a strategist, weaving a trap to unravel their lies without a drop of blood. His duffel bag sat heavy on the passenger seat, packed not with weapons but with props. A jug of tinted water, a spare tie, Nathan's engraved cufflink, swiped from his desk during a late office run, and a small digital recorder. Each item was a chess piece, deliberate and precise. Lucas stepped into the chill, his breath clouding in the pre-dawn air. The park was perfect, remote yet close enough to spark a swift police response. He'd scouted this spot weeks ago, a clearing shielded by firs, far from joggers or dog walkers. The plan wasn't chaos. It was exposure, a way to make Claire and Nathan's deception implode under public scrutiny. Lucas unzipped the duffel, spreading a tarp to keep his tracks clean. First, the tinted water, a mix of food coloring and saline, red enough to mimic blood but harmless. He poured it across the Jeep's passenger seat, letting it seep into the fabric, pooling in creases for effect. The stain looked raw, urgent, a silent scream of foul play. He tore his tie, an old one Claire wouldn't miss, and dragged it through the dirt before wedging it under the rear tire, frayed edges catching the light. Nathan's cufflink, polished silver with NC etched deep, went next, tossed into a patch of mud near a tree. He scuffed the ground with a branch, carving jagged lines, marks of a struggle, subtle but suggestive. Every detail was a breadcrumb, leading cops to questions he'd scripted. He paused, checking his work. The scene was controlled chaos, a stage set for panic. Lucas wasn't naive. He knew Portland PD would swarm this by sunrise. His burner laptop, bought cash at a pawn shop in Gresham, held the next layer. He'd spent hours editing a video, grainy, shadowed footage of a man resembling him arguing with a vague figure, their voices muffled but tense. The clip was short, 30 seconds, enough to hint at conflict without clarity. He encrypted it, scheduling an auto-send to a local news tip line in 48 hours unless he cancelled it. The file was his insurance, a ticking clock to keep Claire and Nathan off balance. Lucas' phone buzzed, a tracker alert. Claire's dot hadn't moved from Nathan's Pearl District condo. Were they laughing, tangled in sheets, thinking they'd outsmarted him? His jaw tightened, memories flashing, Claire's hand brushing Nathan's at their July 4th barbecue, her giggle too bright. Nathan's smug nod when Lucas pitched the Denver deal, as if he owned more than the company. Lucas had trusted them, 6 years with Claire, a decade under Nathan. The sting wasn't just love, it was loyalty shredded. He shook it off, refocusing. Emotion wouldn't win, precision would. He drove 10 miles to a payphone outside a shuttered diner in St. John's, the neon sign flickering. Using a voice modulator app, he dialed 911, pitching his tone high, frantic. "I was biking in Forest Park, near the service road," he rasped. "There's a Jeep, doors open, red stains everywhere. Looks bad, please hurry." He hung up before questions came, his pulse a drumbeat. The call was his spark, now the fire would spread. He ditched the Jeep's keys in the ignition, lights on, and wiped his prints from the handles. Grabbing the duffel, he hiked to a rental sedan, a gray Toyota, bought under a fake name, hidden a mile out. By 4 a.m., Lucas checked into a motel off Sandy Boulevard, signing as Mark Lane. The clerk barely glanced up, handing him a key to a room smelling of stale smoke. He collapsed onto the sagging bed, the hum of a vending machine his only company. His burner phone pinged, a news alert. Abandoned Jeep found in Forest Park, police investigating. He allowed a tight smile. Phase 1 was live. The tracker showed Claire's phone still at Nathan's, unmoving. Were they asleep, or whispering, plotting damage control? He didn't care. Their fear was his lever. Lucas opened his laptop, routing through a VPN to servers in Vancouver, then Tokyo. He sent an anonymous tip to Portland PD's crime line. Check Claire Reed's email for answers. He attached one fake email, a flirty note to Nathan. "Meet me tonight, Park." Time-stamped hours ago. It mimicked Claire's style, culled from months of her chats he'd quietly mirrored. The lie was seamless, a hook to drag her into the spotlight. He scheduled a second drop for tomorrow, a witness. Video showing Nathan's BMW cruising near the park, plates blurred but suggestive. Each move was a knot tightening around them. He ate a greasy burger from a 24-hour diner across the lot, the taste barely registering. His mind churned, replaying Claire's face, their first date at a food cart pod, her laugh over burnt tacos. Had she been playing him even then? Nathan's voice, smooth at staff meetings, echoed. "Lucas, you're my rock." A lie, all of it. The barbecue wasn't the start, there'd been signs. Claire's late nights, her phone angled away, Nathan's offhand. She's a keeper. Lucas had ignored them, trusting love, trusting friendship. Now, he trusted only his plan. Back in the room, he checked his burner again. Claire's texts to Nathan, intercepted via a backdoor he'd coded, were frantic. Police called, it's Lucas' Jeep. What do we do? Nathan's reply. Say nothing, I'll handle it. Lucas' fingers hovered over the keyboard, tempted to escalate. Not yet. He needed them rattled, not broken. He showered, the hot water doing little to thaw the ice in his chest. Slipping into fresh clothes, a hoodie, jeans, he felt like a ghost, moving through a life he'd already left. The motel's clock blinked 6 a.m., dawn creeping through the blinds. He drove to a storage unit in Milwaukee, where he'd stashed a hard drive, backups of his hacks, videos, emails. Insurance if the plan went south. Locking it away, he felt a pang, not guilt, but loss. 6 years with Claire, dreams of a kid, a bigger house. Gone, replaced by this. He wasn't a vigilante. He was a man reclaiming control. Back at the motel, he napped, conserving energy. His burner buzzed, a new alert. Police seeking Lucas Reed, Jeep linked to possible incident. The web was spinning, exactly as he'd designed. Lucas sipped black coffee, eyes on his laptop. Claire's dot finally moved, her Prius heading home. Nathan stayed put, likely lawyering up. Good. Let them scramble. He hacked a local traffic cam near Nathan's condo, catching Claire's car pulling out, her face pale behind the wheel. Was she scared or acting? He didn't care, the game was on. He sent another tip, this one to a news blog. Missing man's wife seen with boss. A stretch, but enough to stir chatter. Social media lit up. Hashtag Portland missing trending, Claire's name whispered. He leaned back, the motel's stale air thick. Phase 2 was digital dominance. He'd coded a bot to scrape Claire's socials, flagging any mention of him or Nathan. A coworker had posted. Heard Lucas is missing, Claire's a wreck. Lucas snorted, wreck or actress? He queued a third video for day 3, a fake voicemail of Lucas pleading. Claire, why? It was cruel, but truth was crueler. He thought of their last anniversary, Claire's toast. To us, forever. Forever was a lie, now, he'd make them face it. The days stretched, Lucas a shadow in his own life. He ate a vending machine sandwich, tasteless, and checked his real phone, off, untraceable. He was Mark Lane now, a name plucked from nowhere. Claire's texts piled up on his cloned app. Lucas, where are you? Please call. Crocodile tears. Nathan's were colder. Cops are digging, stay quiet. Lucas' plan wasn't done. It was a machine, grinding slow but relentless. He'd expose them, not for revenge, but for clarity. The world would see who they were, and he'd walk away clean. Detective Elena Vasquez stood in the damp chill of Forest Park, her boots sinking slightly into the mud beside Lucas Reed's abandoned Jeep. At 47, with a cop's instinct honed by 2 decades on the force, she trusted her gut, and it was screaming. This wasn't a crime scene, it was a stage. The call had come at 5 a.m., a biker's panicked 911 about a vehicle, doors ajar, red stains inside, no driver. Now, as dawn broke over Portland, Elena studied the setup. Tinted liquid pooled on the passenger seat, a torn tie lay tangled under a tire, and a silver cufflink glinted near a tree, etched with NC. No body, no blood, just a puzzle. She snapped photos, her mind already tracing the threads. Elena waved over Officer Sam Patel, a sharp rookie logging evidence. Bag the cufflink, she said, pointing. And those tracks, dragged marks, but too clean. Sam nodded, his flashlight catching the scuffs. The liquid tested negative for blood, dye, maybe food grade, per the field kit. Elena's eyes narrowed. Lucas Reed, 42, cybersecurity analyst, wasn't some random missing person. His firm, Cascade Cyber, was a big name, and that cufflink screamed Nathan Cole, his boss. She'd seen setups before, but this one felt personal, deliberate. By 7 a.m., Elena was at Lucas Laurelhurst's home, a tidy craftsman glowing under morning mist. Claire Reed, 39, opened the door, her face pale, eyes red-rimmed. "Lucas is in Denver," she said, clutching a coffee mug. "Work trip." Elena held up a photo of the Jeep. "Found this at Forest Park, ma'am. Stains, signs of a struggle." "When'd you last hear from him?" Claire's mug trembled. "Last night, a text, he was fine." Her voice cracked, but Elena caught a flicker, not fear, but guilt. She asked for Lucas' phone, knowing Claire's would be next. Inside, Claire fumbled with her device, swiping for proof. Elena spotted a scarf on the couch, out of place in the neat living room. "Anyone else Lucas was tight with?" she asked. Claire hesitated. "Nathan Cole, his boss. They're close." Too close, Elena thought, filing it away. She left, driving to Nathan's sleek condo in the Pearl District. Nathan, 44, answered in a press shirt, his charm dialed high. "Lucas? In Denver, I'd guess. What's up?" Elena showed the cufflinks photo. "Yours?" Nathan's smile twitched. "Lost one like it recently." His alibi, drinks with Claire, matched hers, but his eyes darted when Elena mentioned the park. Back at the precinct, Elena dug into Lucas' world. His co-workers at Cascade described him as driven, lately withdrawn. "He mentioned home stress," one said. Claire's phone records, pulled with a warrant, showed late-night texts to Nathan, not Lucas. A tip hit the crime line. "Check Claire Reed's email." Elena found a leaked message, Claire to Nathan. "Meet me at the park urgent." Sent hours before the Jeep was found. Too tidy, she thought, smelling a plant. Still, it was enough to haul them in. At 2 p.m., Claire sat in interview room B, twisting her rings. "I'd never hurt Lucas," she said, voice low. "We've had issues, sure, but nothing like this." Elena leaned in. "You were with Nathan last night, not home. Care to explain?" Claire's eyes welled. "We got close. Emotionally. Lucas didn't know." No tears fell, just a heavy pause. Elena pushed. "That email, Claire. Planning something?" Claire shook her head, lost. "I didn't send it." Elena didn't buy it, but doubt gnawed. Where was Lucas? Nathan was next, in room A, his polish fraying. "Yeah, I saw Claire," he snapped. "Friends talk, so what?" Elena slid the cufflink across the table. "Found at the scene." "Stolen, you said?" Nathan froze. "Must have been." She showed the email. "This your idea of talk?" He slumped. "It's not what it looks like. We just clicked." Elena pressed. "Lucas find out Nathan? What happened next?" He had no answer, just sweat. She let them stew, separate cells, as she briefed her captain, Ortiz. "Motives there, affair. Evidence? Circumstantial." By evening, a new wrinkle hit. A grainy video landed on Elena's desk, anonymous, showing a BMW like Nathan's near Forest Park at 3 a.m., plates unclear. She replayed it, frame by frame. "Could be his," she told Patel. "Or someone wants us to think so." They traced the IP, nothing, a dead end. Elena re-interviewed Claire, whose composure cracked. "I was with Nathan, okay," she sobbed. "But we didn't do anything to Lucas." Elena studied her. "Then where is he, Claire? Your story's thin." Claire had no reply, just tremors. Nathan's second round was uglier. "I didn't touch Lucas," he growled, fists balled. "Maybe he's screwing with us." Elena raised an eyebrow. "Faking this? Why?" Nathan glared, silent. She stepped out, her mind racing. The die, the cufflink, the email. They were too perfect, like code written to run. Lucas was a tech wizard. Was he the coder here? She ordered a dive into his digital footprint, suspecting a ghost. His laptop, seized from home, had a draft. Divorce. Claire's with Nathan. Elena's gut said Lucas wasn't gone, he was watching. Night settled over the precinct, Elena at her desk, files sprawling. Lucas' phone was off, no pings. His accounts were silent, yet the video, the email, they felt orchestrated. She thought of Claire's tears, Nathan's defiance. Guilt was obvious, but harm? No body, no proof. The DA wanted charges, obstruction, tampering, to hedge bets. Elena sipped cold coffee, unconvinced. Lucas was out there, pulling strings, and she'd find him. Claire and Nathan weren't killers, but liars? Absolutely. The game was far from over. The Portland courthouse pulsed with murmurs as Claire Reed sat at the defense table, her hands clasped tight. At 39, her usual warmth as a college advisor was gone, replaced by a strained stillness. Beside her, Nathan Cole, 44, shifted, his tailored suit doing little to hide his unease. The gallery buzzed, tech colleagues, reporters, Lucas Reed's neighbors, all drawn to the case gripping the city for weeks. Detective Elena Vasquez stood at the back, arms crossed, her instinct nagging. This trial for Lucas' disappearance was a house of cards, and someone was about to knock it down. Prosecutor Mia Chin rose, her voice cutting through the hum. Claire Reed and Nathan Cole hid an affair, betrayed Lucas Reed. When he uncovered it, they covered their tracks, staged a scene, lied to police. She pointed to exhibits, the cuff link engraved. NC. A fake email from Claire to Nathan, a blurry video of a BMW near Forest Park. Obstruction, tampering, possibly worse, Chin said, her gaze sweeping the jury. Their deception speaks guilt. Jurors nodded, faces set, as she sat poised. Defense attorney Caleb Dunn stood calm but sharp. No body, no crime. My clients are pawns, not players. Lucas Reed, a cybersecurity expert, could spin this web blindfolded. He gestured to the cufflink. Stolen. The email? Planted. The video? Edited. He met Claire's eyes, then Nathan's. They strayed emotionally, yes. But that's not a felony, it's human. The jury shifted, one woman scribbling, as Dunn sat, leaving doubt in the air. Testimony began with forensics. A lab tech confirmed the Jeep's stains were dye, not blood, but insisted. The setup screams intent to mislead. Elena frowned. Lucas' work, she'd wager. Claire took the stand, her voice thin. I hurt Lucas with my feelings for Nathan, she admitted. But harm him? Never. Chin pounced. You were with Nathan when Lucas vanished. Convenient. Claire faltered, eyes wet, no answer ready. The jury's stares hardened, judging her silence as much as her words. Nathan's turn was Messier. I messed up, he said low, his charm flat. Lucas was my friend. Yeah, I got close to Claire, talking, nothing more. Hurt him? No. Chin held up the cufflink. Yours, found at the scene. Nathan stammered. Could have been taken from my desk? Jurors leaned forward, unconvinced. Dunn redirected, asking, Lucas' tech skills, could he fake an email, a video? Nathan nodded. He's a genius at it. The room stirred, but skepticism lingered in the jury's eyes. Day 2 brought a coworker, testifying Lucas seemed tense, hinting at trust issues, at home. A digital analyst followed, tracing the email to a ghost server, unlinked to Claire or Nathan. Someone skilled built this, she said. Dunn pressed. Like Lucas Reed? She shrugged. Could be. Whispers rippled, Elena catching a reporter typing fast. Chin countered with the BMW video, sharper now, Nathan's plates half visible. Your car, your lies, she said. Nathan's head dropped, the jury's mood souring. By day 3, Chin hammered Claire, replaying her lies, late nights, vague texts. You wanted Lucas gone, she accused. Claire sobbed. No, I loved him, still do. The words rang hollow, her poise crumbling. Nathan faced worse, Chin listing his alibis, each flimsier. You and Claire planned this, she said. He shook his head, mute. Conviction loomed, the gallery tense, Elena's notepad filling. Lucas is alive, directing this. She felt it, but proof was a ghost. Then chaos erupted. At noon, a courier slipped Dunn a package in the courthouse hall, marked Urgent Read Case. Inside, a USB labeled Lucas. Dunn rushed to chambers, Judge Nora Kim, Chan, and Elena watching. Lucas' face filled the laptop screen, 42, calm, unshaven. "I'm alive," he said, voice steady. "I staged the Jeep, die cufflink email, to expose Claire and Nathan's betrayal. They didn't hurt me, they hurt trust." A notarized affidavit and digital signature backed it, time-stamped yesterday. Kim called an emergency session. The courtroom hushed as Dunn played the video. Claire gasped, hands to her mouth. Nathan froze, face ashen. Elena nodded. Her gut was right. Chen objected. "This could be fake." But the analyst, recalled, verified it. Signature clean, affidavit legit. Kim paused the trial. "We need full authentication," she said, voice tight. "No charges proceed without clarity." The jury was dismissed, gasps erupting. Reporters bolted, phones out, headlines brewing. Claire and Nathan sat stunned in a holding room, free but shackled by stairs. "He's alive!" Claire whispered, tears falling, not relief, but shame. Nathan muttered, "He played us." Elena met Dunn outside. "Lucas outsmarted everyone," she said. Dunn shrugged. "My client's walk, but he's a fugitive now." By dusk, charges were on hold, Claire and Nathan released, no cuffs, no victory. Portland buzzed. Lucas, hero or trickster? Elena drove to the precinct, replaying his words. Why reveal now? Pride? Guilt? She pulled Lucas' file, hunting traces. A faint IP hit, Boise, tied to the USB. Lucas was out there, rewriting his story, leaving Claire and Nathan to drown in theirs. Claire Reed hauled a cardboard box into a modest apartment in Bend, Oregon, the high desert air sharp against her skin. At 39, the former college advisor was a ghost of her Portland self. No more tailored blouses, just jeans and a faded sweater. Her auburn hair, once sleek, was pulled into a messy bun. The trial's end 4 weeks ago had freed her from charges, but not from consequence. The city's whispers, affair, lies, had chased her out, her job gone, her friends silent. She set the box down, unpacking books for a new gig at a community library, each title a small anchor in her unmoored life. Nathan Cole, 44, wasn't faring better. He'd landed in Vancouver, Washington, renting a drab studio above a vape shop. His cybersecurity firm, Cascade Cyber, was bleeding clients, lawsuits piling up like unpaid bills. Once a slick dealmaker, Nathan now shuffled to a temp job coding for a startup, his suits swapped for hoodies. At night he scrolled X, seeing his name dragged, #Portland scandal still trending. He texted Claire once a week. "Can we talk?" She didn't reply, her absence louder than any verdict. Detective Elena Vasquez, 47, sat at her Portland precinct desk, Lucas Reed's file splayed open. The trial's collapse, Lucas' video proving he'd faked his disappearance, had left her with questions, not closure. Lucas, 42, was alive, his confession airtight, die in the Jeep, a planted cufflink, fake emails, all to expose Claire and Nathan's emotional affair. Elena admired the craft, but fraud wasn't free. She traced the video to Boise, then lost him. Now, a new lead flickered, a Seattle coder. Mark Lane. Matching Lucas' style. She pinned a grainy photo to her board, a man, hooded, in a park. "Got a shadow, Lucas," she muttered, sipping stale coffee. Claire's days in Bend found rhythm, shelving books by day, volunteering at a youth center by night. She mentored teens, guiding them through fights and dreams, her own guilt a quiet passenger. At the trial, she'd admitted her feelings for Nathan, late-night talks, stolen glances, not love, but escape. Lucas' video had shattered her, not for his survival, but his pain. She'd betrayed a man who'd built her a home, planned a family. Now she lived lean, her parents' calls her only tether. They'd forgiven her, she hadn't. One evening, a letter slid under Claire's door, no stamp, just her name in Lucas' sharp script. Her hands shook as she tore it open. Claire. It read. I don't hate you. You broke us, but I'm past vengeance. I've got a new life, maybe a kid someday. Find your truth. No signature, no address. She sank to the floor, tears blurring the ink. It wasn't absolution, but release. She thought of Nathan's texts, his pull. She'd ignored him, choosing herself. The letter went into a drawer, a marker of what she'd lost, and what she'd built. Nathan's nights were less kind. His temp gig paid rent barely. A bar argument landed him a black eye, his fault, mouthing off. He saw Claire's library job on a news clip, anonymous now, helping kids. He envied her grit, hated his own slide. Cascade's last client bailed, citing ethics. Nathan wrote an apology to Lucas, unsent, knowing it was too late. He'd played the friend, then the snake, chasing a spark with Claire that fizzled under scrutiny. His mirror showed a stranger, not a boss, not a man. Elena got a tip. A Seattle startup's code had Lucas' fingerprints, quirky loops only he'd write. She flew up, badge ready, but Mark Lane had quit, vanished. Back in Portland, she found a blank email in her inbox. No sender, just a park photo, pines like forest parks. Zooming in, she saw a figure, face obscured, stance familiar. Still playing, she said, saving it. Lucas faced fraud charges if caught, but Elena sensed he'd slip again. Her captain pushed closure, she pushed truth. Claire's library grew busier, her teens leaning on her calm. One girl, Mia, 16, spoke of a cheating dad, her anger raw. Claire listened, sharing no story, just presence. You'll rebuild, she told Mia, meaning it for both. Her apartment filled, plants, a used couch, small wins. She burned Nathan's old messages, digital and paper, vowing honesty. A coworker asked her to coffee. She smiled, not ready, but open. Lucas' letter lingered, a scar and a spur. Nathan faced a fraud claim from an ex-client, settling for pennies he didn't have. His name was mud, his lesson sharp. Betrayal wasn't power, it was a cage. He saw Claire's center in a blog, thriving quietly. He turned off his phone, no fight left. A job offer came, low-level coding, no glory. He took it, starting over, one line at a time. Lucas' shadow loomed, not as vengeance, but as proof. Lies collapse. Lucas coded in Seattle, a new name, a clean slate. Whispers of a partner, maybe a child, trailed him. He sent Elena that photo, a taunt, then erased his trail. Claire and Nathan's ruin was enough. He'd won without fists. Portland forgot him, but not his web. Claire helped Mia apply to college, Nathan debugged a script, and Lucas built an app, free. Truth had cut deeper than anger, leaving them all to face their own mirrors.